My IMF colleagues and I have been in Accra for a couple of weeks now on a mission to assess performance under the Ghanaian authorities' 3-year IMF-supported program, which was approved by our executive board in May 2023. The program is designed to have 6 monthly reviews, and the current mission is intended for the second review of the program. During the mission, but also even before, we have been engaging very closely with the authorities on program implementation, and I'm very pleased to announce this morning that we have reached a staff-level agreement on the second review of the program. Let me add that this agreement is subject to the approval by the IMF management and our executive board once the necessary financing assurances have been received. An agreement between the Ghanaian authorities and their official creditors on a memorandum of understanding for the debt treatment, and debt treatment consistent with the agreement in principle that was reached in January 2025, would provide these needed assurances. Once the IMF Executive Board completes the second review of the program, Ghana would have access to about $360 million, bringing the total IMF financial support disbursed under the arrangement since May 2023 to $1.6 billion. Before you hear from the Honourable Minister and the Governor, and we take some of your questions, allow me to provide a brief overview of the key points discussed during the mission. First, our assessment is that performance under the program has been generally strong and consistent with the authorities' commitments. Most of the quantitative targets were met, and good progress is being made on the key structural reform milestones under the program. Most importantly, the authorities' strong policy and reform efforts to restore macroeconomic stability and debt sustainability, to lay the foundations for stronger and more inclusive growth, are already generating positive results. In other words, the program is working. Economic activity in 2023 was more robust than we initially envisaged. Growth projections are about to be revised in the context of the program, especially for this year in 2024. On the fiscal front, the government has adjusted the policy stance to bring about a reduction in deficits and to restore the sustainability of public finances. Our assessment is that fiscal performance has been strong, and Ghana has lowered the fiscal primary deficit by over 4 percentage points of GDP in 2023, and it is on track to achieve a primary surplus of 0.5% of GDP in 2024. I believe it's the first time in a long time that Ghana would manage to have a primary surplus. The government has met its non-oil revenue mobilization target last year. It has also kept spending within the budget limit. The authorities have also expanded and significantly the social protection programs to help mitigate the crisis impact on the most vulnerable population. The government is committed to providing additional support going forward by undertaking reforms to improve the operational efficiency of those programs and by expanding their coverage and the resources allocated to the program. On the monetary policy front, we can say that monetary policy has remained appropriately tight, and that has allowed inflation to decline rapidly. On the external sector side, there has been a significant improvement, and in particular, international reserve accumulation is ahead of the program objectives. Financial stability has been preserved, and banks posted solid profits in 2023. The GFSF, the Ghana Financial Stability Fund, has started its operations, and some of the banks have already been recapitalized with the resources of this fund. In terms of the next steps, and given Ghana's strong progress under the program, it is important that the authorities reach agreement with their official creditors on this memorandum of understanding that I talked about earlier, and we look forward to the authorities' continued efforts to reach this agreement, and the other creditors as well, in line with the program parameters. To conclude, let me say that there's, of course, still much ground to cover and plenty of work ahead of us. But I think what makes us very optimistic is that the reform efforts are already generating positive results.